Hello, a very good evening to all. I hope you all are doing well. This side Priya Bhatia, and in this specific video, we will be starting our very interesting discussion on DSA part, how we actually learn about DSA. तो हुआ ये था कि लास्ट वीक नो लास्ट टू लास्ट वीक आई वाज इन वन ऑफ द इवेंट जहाँ पे बहुत सारे फ्रेशर्स हैव दैट स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन इन देयर हेड कि प्रिया इफ आई वांट टू डू डीएसए हाउ शुड आई अप्रोच. So I had a lot of interactions with the learners, and I get to know few myths as well. So I will talk about that in today's discussion, but before we will deep dive into today's discussion, let's wait for others to join. And in the meantime, today we also have a guest with us, Gladden. So let me invite him, and then we can start further. Hi, Gladden. How are you?
Hello, hi Priya, I'm good. How are you? All good?
Good, good. How is everything going?
Great. Looking forward for this course. Excited. Waiting for students. Yes.
Yeah, I think many people have already joined us. So today
Yeah.
we both will try to talk about that how learners should approach towards learning DSA, and where actually people are struggling. Uh, because they usually spend a lot of time. मतलब इतना required नहीं होता. I hope Gladden you will agree with me कि कुछ लोग
Yes.
एक साल लगा रहे हैं, कुछ लोग तो इसी conversation में लगे हुए हैं कि DSA को हम कौन सी language में करें, whether it should be in
Exactly.
Python or C++, and they're spending a lot of time in juggling about all these things. So today we will
Correct.
talk about what are the important factors which are required. But before we will proceed, maybe for many of them, you are new face. So you
Yes.
can introduce them, and then maybe we can proceed further.
Sure. So, hi guys, for everyone here, my name is Gladden, and I have been a DSA instructor for a couple of years now, trained a lot of students online and offline, and my expertise is primarily in problem solving, right? So, if you are a student who struggles with DSA or who is learning DSA, needs mentorship on DSA, or for the larger goal wants to prepare for product based companies, right? These kind of cohort and students I do mentor. Before this, I was working as a software engineer, and then I transitioned into teaching as my hobby passion towards tech education, right? I think that is enough for now, and you'll get to know more about me during the course. Hope we'll learn together live. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gladden. So now let's start our discussion, right? First of all, I will talk about few of the pointers with respect to my experience, and then Gladden will take the stage and talk about that what actually is required in order to prepare for the interviews in a correct manner, right? So let's get started. First of all, can you guys let me know how many of you have prepared for DSA at least once? Maybe in the chat window, in the comments, you can let me know. कम से कम एक बार आप लोगों ने ट्राई किया हो कि चलो मैं भी डीएसए को क्रैक करने का ट्राई करता हूँ बिफोर गोइंग फॉर टेक्निकल राउंड्स. एंड आई थिंक एवरीबडी नोज दैट बीट एनी डोमेन, अगर आपको डेटा साइंस में जाना है, डेटा इंजीनियरिंग में जाना है, डेटा एनालिस्ट बनना है, वेब डेवलपमेंट में जाना है, आई होप एवरीबडी हैव दिस मच क्लैरिटी कि in the initial part, in the technical rounds, we require DSA. मतलब आपके कोडिंग राउंड में भी होगा जहां पे टाइमर लगा हुआ होगा और आपको 1 घंटे में या 1.5 घंटे में उसे सॉल्व करने हैं क्वेश्चंस को. एंड आफ्टर दैट इन द फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू राउंड ऑल्सो दिस यूजुअली हैपेंस. At least if I'll share my experience starting from Google company till any startup, I have given DSA interviews. Currently I'm working at Turing. वहां पे भी जब मेरा इंटरव्यू राउंड हुआ था तो DSA is the very first step via which they shortlisted me. So personally, if you will ask from me, till today, I think I have joined Turing 1.5 years back. DSA is something which is widely asked, right? So many people are saying me, yes, we have tried, we have at least once explored about DSA, but somehow in between we left, right? Because there is a lot of content, what to learn, what not to learn. And when we start working on DSA, it's not about completing a syllabus. Many people feel कि मैंने एरेज कर लिया, मैंने डायनामिक प्रोग्रामिंग कर लिया, मैंने डिवाइड एंड एल्गोरिथम डिवाइड एंड कॉन्कर एल्गोरिथम के बारे में पढ़ लिया. So I have somehow finished the syllabus, so I'm done with the DSA. This is not how DSA should be prepared ideally. So I'll talk about few myths which I'm assuming that many people do have. सबसे पहला, बहुत सारे learners को ऐसा लगता है, many learners think that if I will be able to solve many questions on LeetCode or any other platform like HackerRank, I am equally good in DSA. How many of you feel that more problem means better preparation? No, it's not like that. This is the very I mean, as I have mentioned, I was in an event and many people feel कि अगर मैंने 700 क्वेश्चंस कर लिए, अगर मैंने 1000 प्रॉब्लम कर ली, तो इसका मतलब मैं गूगल कंपनी या किसी और कंपनी का डीएसए का राउंड इजीली क्रैक कर सकता हूं. बट इट्स नॉट अबाउट हाउ मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स यू हैव सॉल्व्ड. इट्स अबाउट in a quality manner how many different patterns of problems you have solved. So today we'll talk about that. Secondly, myth number 2. Some people feel that if, let's say, I don't know any problem, I will instantly watch the solutions. Nowadays, it's very easy to open a YouTube, search a problem, we find a YouTube video, listen to it, and we instantly get a feel कि मुझे समझ में आ रहा है. And now I'm very good in DSA. I hope everybody feels like that. But that is something which is a passive learning. सबसे पहले आपको खुद बहुत टाइम स्पेंड करना होता है टू अंडरस्टैंड कि मैं इसको कितने सोल्यूशन से सॉल्व कर सकता हूँ. व्हाट इज माय ब्रूट फोर्स अप्रोच, व्हाट इज माय ऑप्टिमल अप्रोच, एंड फॉर दैट यू नीड अ पेशेंस, यू नीड दैट लेवल ऑफ एनर्जी, राइट? तभी आप लोग उसे सॉल्व कर पाओगे. अगर आप इंस्टेंटली क्वेश्चन को देखते ही किसी प्रॉब्लम की तरफ रीच आउट कर रहे हो, किसी सोल्यूशन की तरफ रीच आउट कर रहे हो, एंड यू हैव सेवरल ऑप्शंस राइट नाउ, आप कोई यूट्यूब वीडियो खोल रहे हो या फिर आप कोई गिटहब का लिंक खोल के सोल्यूशन को कॉपी पेस्ट कर रहे हो एंड यू आर हैविंग दैट फील कि मुझे डीएसए आता है, अगेन अ रॉन्ग अप्रोच. द लास्ट मिथ, myth number 3. Many people feel कि if I will do a coding in a faster manner, I am very good in DSA, I am pro in DSA. Again, a very wrong misconception. Over here, speed is important, I can understand, because in every interview, interviewer will also apply a timer of 45 minutes. But that speed is, I would say, secondary. It's not primary thing. I remember my Google interview. Over there, they also have a timer of 45 minutes where I have to answer as many questions as I can. But their main focus is not to pass the test cases. In fact, they didn't even give me the platform. What they give me is the Google document, और वहां पे उन्होंने problem statement को लिखा, and what they're looking from me is the clarity on how I'm approaching towards a given solution. So we have to focus in DSA 3 important factors. Always remember that. This is not about doing a preparation from a structured course or doing at your end. Whatever be the cases, आप खुद से कर रहे हो प्लेलिस्ट को देख के, या फिर आप किसी कोर्स को खरीद के एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे में कर रहे हो, it all depends on you. But you have to take care of 3 important pointers whenever you are preparing for interviews, and if possible you can write it somewhere as well. The pointer number 1, whenever you are learning DSA, you have to think about, can we break down a logic? Whatever problem I have, can I break down that problem into multiple sub problems, and can I think about that कि कैसे मैं individual sub problems को solve करूं? Task number 2, can you choose the right data structure for your given problem? क्या आपको ये समझ में आता है कि इस केस में लिस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है और इस केस में टपल इंपॉर्टेंट है? So you have that idea कि when given a problem, you can say that this specific data structure is efficient to solve the specific problem. So basically, indirectly, what I am saying is, you should know that at what point of time, what specific data structure and algorithm makes sense. So if you know the utilization of every data structure and algorithm, then only you will be able to solve any problem, because then you are thinking logically. Third most important factor, can you optimize the code? Whenever somebody is giving you a code, you have to first of all think about the brute force approach. मतलब जो भी आपका logically sensible decision है, कैसे हम उसको approach करें, that's the first thing. And after that, you can think about how can I optimize it further? What are the core steps? So optimization, third important factor. एंड इफ आई विल शेयर माई एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ गूगल, दैट 3 थिंग्स दे आर वर्किंग ऑन एज वेल. सबसे पहले उन्होंने मेरे से पूछा कि कैसे आप इस प्रॉब्लम को ब्रेक डाउन करोगे और सॉल्व करोगे. सेकेंडली, आपने जो डेटा स्ट्रक्चर यूज किया है, उस टाइम पे मुझे याद है मैंने हीप को यूज किया था. तो दे टोल्ड मी कि आपने हीप को ही क्यों यूज किया है, व्हाई नॉट अदर वन. एंड थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर जहां पे बहुत ज्यादा फोकस होता है, दैट इज अबाउट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन. कि अगर आपका कोड ऑर्डर ऑफ एन स्क्वायर टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी फर्स्ट अप्रोच में आ रही है, तो क्या आप एक ऐसा कोड लिख सकते हो जो कि सेम आउटपुट को डिस्प्ले करे विद इन बिग O ऑफ एन कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, बिग O ऑफ लॉग एन कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, बिग O ऑफ वन कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी? इज इट पॉसिबल? So that is the overall idea. Just to give you one simple example. For example, I want to find out the sum of n natural numbers. अब उसके लिए you can use a formula directly and you can solve it in a constant time complexity, and you can use a loop as well, which can be solved via big O of n. So please try to think in a given problem. First of all, it's very important to have a very clear foundation on complexity part, and then how can we optimize them in an efficient manner. Our end goal in DSA is to reach to a solution where we will be having a very low time and space complexity. So when you cover up these 3 factors, it means that now you're learning DSA in a smart manner. लेकिन जब आप प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करते हो तो आपका फोकस क्या रहता है, कितनी प्रॉब्लम्स मैंने सॉल्व कर ली. लेट मी ट्राई टू सॉल्व एज मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स एज आई कैन. दैट्स अ वेरी रॉन्ग अप्रोच टू थिंक अबाउट डीएसए. क्योंकि आप भले ही थाउजेंड्स ऑफ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर लो, इंटरव्यू के अंदर आपके पास कुछ ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आएगी जो कि आपने कभी देखी ही नहीं होगी. So you have to understand the mindset, and that's what I usually say in every course of mine of DSA. Ki at the end of the day, in my course, if even if you're solving 50 problems, 100 problems of different pattern, you need to think about the mindset. उस mindset को train करने के लिए you need to solve the different quality problems. I hope it makes sense to everyone, right? Now, uh, I have talked about a lot many things over here, right? This is where I definitely want Gladden to take the stage. And now he will talk about the interview preparation. He, as a fresher, because he is already a core mentor of DSA, and as he has mentioned कि उन्होंने काफी time से DSA learners को पढ़ाया है, so he will share his experience और कहाँ पे learners काफी juggle करते हैं, क्या चीजें हमें ध्यान रखनी चाहिए. So please listen the session very carefully. If possible, document this learning, and I really hope you will enjoy his experience as well. So, Gladden, over to you.
Cool. Hi guys, thank you so much, Priya, for starting. Cool. I hope I'm audible and visible to everyone. Yes, because we are live. Okay, thank you. Cool. So I think DSA a long journey for me, है ना? बहुत सारे बच्चों को mentor किया है. There are a lot of learnings that I have had, right? Typically, right now, I'll be brutally honest. What is going on is there are a lot of mentors, there are a lot of courses, and a lot of places from where you can learn YouTube, online as well as offline. However, the market right now or the industry right now has become in such a way that you are just given a set of problems, let's say 150 problems, 200 problems, 250 problems to solve, and then you are expected कि आप उन problems को solve करोगे. You solve those 250 problems, and then somehow, if the same problem appears in your interview, you get through the interview and get the job. But do we want to limit ourselves to that? I mean, is that truly problem solving? Right, Priya ma'am mentioned earlier as well about problem solving. This is not truly problem solving. We talk about patterns, pattern matching and identifying patterns, but it does not mean solving a sheet. I'll be very clear. Pattern identification or solving problems and categorizing them into patterns does not mean solving a sheet of, let's say, 100 questions, and that is not what we are going to do as well. And I'm not promoting that, but you need to develop a kind of thinking for solving problems, right? So when I look at a problem for the first time, what do? Do I start writing? I mean, start writing the code. That is the worst mistake that a lot of students do. That as soon as they see the question, first thing they do is, अच्छा ये question है, okay, इसमें से maximum निकालना है, ये करना है. Immediately they'll start writing the code for it, and then you realize after writing some code, your test cases don't pass. You go back to the question, oh no, I didn't read the constraints. So your solution now in your mind works, but actually doesn't work because you didn't write your code for the constraints. So you didn't even read the problem properly. Correct. So these are some very small mistakes I have seen. Even engineers make this mistake. In a haste, they want to type fast, they want to code fast. So there is a journey of problem solving, and I think that is the role of mentors to help you there, right? How to start thinking like a problem solver. Why every data structure is important? Why does a data structure exist in first place? If array could solve all the problems, then why do we have a hash map? So there is a reason, right, why every data structure exists. It solves some problem. Now when I look at the problem, I should not by heart in my head ki acha ye problem aaya hai to yahi data structure use karunga. There is a reason every data structure solves a unique problem or a unique type of problem, जिसको हम फिर कैटेगराइजेशन या फिर पैटर्न्स बोलते हैं. दैट इवेंचुअली हैपेंस. यू डोंट हैव टू स्टार्ट लर्निंग फ्रॉम दैट कि ये क्वेश्चन में ये कीवर्ड आया, दिस इज द कीवर्ड, सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू यूज हैश मैप. If this is the keyword, I'm going to use arrays. I mean, that is not how problem solving truly works. I'm talking about becoming a problem solver where you can ace and solve any given problem, any unseen given problem from first principles. Solving a DSA question or any coding question from first principles. What is the thinking going to be? How do you read the problem? How do you understand the constraints? How do you break it down? How do you write a solution? How do you explain a solution? How do you optimize the solution? How do you answer the follow-up questions that the interviewer is going to ask, right? So that requires sturdy problem solving ability. Correct. And that is what we are going to do. And eventually patterns are formed, right? You do it so much, you practice it so much that eventually patterns are formed. That is why a lot of people who are expert at this, they agree that there are patterns. But you don't start with the कि मैं अभी pattern बनाऊंगा, ये 50 इस pattern के solve करूंगा, ये 50 question इस pattern के solve. Don't start with that. Start with an open mindset that I want to be a good problem solver. Eventually in your head you will be able to connect the dots and those patterns will appear in front of you. Okay, so that should be the goal. Okay, constraints in your problem are the clues. Okay, so they are a hint for you. As soon as you look at the constraints, you're going to know, okay, my complexity of the problem should be xyz thing. Those are some of the shortcuts that we use to solve problems, but complexity is super important. Someone wrote in the chat as well that time complexity, space complexity is super important, right? Otherwise you can solve a problem, but a problem necessarily does not have a single solution, right? A question might have multiple solutions. Now which solution do I implement? I look at the constraints. I look at what is the input in my hand. I look at what is expected as the output for me, right? And I will take that journey from input to output, looking at the constraints, reading the problem, identifying the data structure, trying to see which algorithm applies along with this data structure, and then reach my outcome or my goal, which is eventually solving that problem in the most optimized manner. So constraints are super important, right? And then one fundamental quality which a lot of students lack is the ability to explain what you're thinking, right? So I solved a problem. I was thinking something while solving that problem. I was also thinking something while I'm optimizing the problem. You should have that ability of communicating that to the interviewer or anyone for that matter, right? And that is why in the end, when we'll be done with the course, I'll also guide you all, to do some mock interviews, how to do mock interviews. There are platforms available. So all these things help, right? As long as you're willing to put in the effort, as long as you're willing to become a good problem solver. So number one starts from here. Is my intention to become a good problem solver? Okay, we'll start from there. If you are willing to, then we'll make it happen with a lot of things, right? And interviews, correct? So a lot of people confuse technical expertise with interviews. Okay, now trust me, a lot of SDs that I know who are in Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and a lot of product based companies have cracked this ability of explaining technical solutions. So if you have a technical solution, you will be able to explain it. Now this will naturally come to you as well. Why? Because you have teachers like Priya Bhatia, you have me as a mentor in this course as well. So while we are explaining you the problems, a lot of my students say that, sir, we have observed how you used to teach in the class and we have applied those similar principles while giving the interviews. So there are so many things to learn from this. Okay, so technical communication, explaining technical solution is super important as well, and that happens over time. Okay, so we'll focus on all the technical concepts, we'll go into details of all the data structures and algorithms, but just remember that at the end you also need to master your soft skills, technical communications, that will help you clear interviews, है ना? So that is super important, correct? Now why freshers? Okay, there's a important thing I want to tell for freshers. So those who are, let's say, looking for their first job, you are, let's say, a college student, or you might be, let's say, in a non-technical role and you want to switch to technical role, or you are, let's say, in a service based company and you want to move to a product based company. For all those folks who are going to enter the product based company for the first time, if you're going to enter product based company for the first time, there is a certain level of confidence that is required, of course. But I will tell you, I'll tell you that the journey, this preparation whole journey is slightly uncomfortable. Okay? And that is what will push you to do better. Matlab, trust me, when I was in college preparing for my data structures and algorithms, because सबको पता था college में कि they are going to ask DSA problems only, so everyone was preparing. There is so much confidence, there is so much competition around you, there are students around you who are also preparing along with you, right? And the journey is uncomfortable, but do you believe that I can still do it? Because every single day there will be Priya ma'am, there will be Gladden taking sessions on weekends, and then I will have my entire week to prepare whatever is taught and whatever is going to be taught on the next weekend, right? वो topic आपको पता होगा. Do you have that ability to kind of push grind? तो you will do it. ये journey uncomfortable होगी. ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि during the start of the course, after 2 or 3 weeks, you will start feeling like this is too hard. The questions that Priya ma'am is solving, or the questions that Gladden sir is solving, is too hard for me, or I am unable to understand the optimized version. So that journey is uncomfortable. But in every batch and in every cohort of students that I take, I tell them in the first class itself, that course के starting से लेके course के end तक there is a drastic drop in the number of students who attend classes regularly. So first session of every course, you have maximum participants, and then that count keeps dropping. Why it keeps dropping? Because students on the way keep giving up too early. एक हफ्ता हो गया, 2 हफ्ता हो गया, Priya ma'am is putting her entire energy, Gladden sir is putting his entire energy, but 2 हफ्ते बाद हमने give up कर दिया. टीचर्स ने गिव अप नहीं किया, हमने गिव अप कर दिया, एंड यू कैन सी अदर्स आर डूइंग वेल. तो फिर आप खुद ही अपने कंपटीशन हो, देन यू आर रिमूविंग योरसेल्फ आउट ऑफ द पोजीशन वेयर यू कुड गेट प्लेस्ड, बिकॉज यू आर सेइंग कि बाकी बच्चे कर लेंगे, मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूं, राइट? देन नो वन कैन हेल्प यू इन दैट केस. सो दैट इंटेंट, दैट ability टू ग्राइंड, थोड़ा सा वो चाहिए होगा, स्पेशली हु आर डूइंग इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. देखो, जिन्होंने folks who have already done it in the past, folks who have already studied DSA, let's say for 6 months, and cracked the code, and they've understood what it takes to be a good problem solver, they can repeat it because they know the psyche and intent behind it. But if you are doing this for the first time, it requires a lot of rigor. Okay, that is what I'm telling you. It requires a lot of rigor. Okay, even at senior levels, L4 L5 levels in Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they still ask DSA. So imagine a 5-year experienced Google engineer is still doing DSA. Imagine. So rigor is required, consistency is required. Okay, and that is a part of this journey. So accept it that a lot of rigor and grind will be required. But the best part is, if you do it every single day, it compounds. That is the beauty of DSA or problem solving, or for that matter anything that you are learning. But DSA or problem solving में तो बहुत help करता है. And I'll tell you what is the feeling that you will get when you're solving problems in our course. A sense of momentum because of the compounded learning. So when you learn arrays, then you, let's say, learn 2 pointers, then you learn something hash map, तो ना आपका knowledge compound होते जाता है. Because now you're not just solving problems on arrays, you're not solving just problems on hash maps. तो आपको ये भी आता है, वो भी आता है, तो आपका knowledge compound हो जाता है. एक प्रॉब्लम में मैं दोनों अप्लाई कर सकता हूं, बिकॉज आई नो ऑल ऑफ दैट इन अ कंपाउंडेड फैशन, राइट? सो दैट इज द ब्यूटी. डीएसए एंड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग जितना कंपाउंड आप करोगे, उतना वो मोमेंटम बेटर होते जाता है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई आई एम कीपिंग इट वेरी क्लियर from right now. All the students who are enrolling in the course, Priya ma'am will share a link in the chat as well to enroll in the course. All the students who are enrolling in the course, I want you to come with the intent of attending every live class. Every live class, I want you all to be there. Hard आपको लग सकता है टॉपिक, इट इज ओके. आई वांट यू ऑल टू बी देयर. I want you all to ask questions or share feedback on how we can improve it, and stick till the end of the course. फर्स्ट लेक्चर से लेके लास्ट लेक्चर तक, इफ यू स्टिक थ्रू आउट द कोर्स एंड यू एक्चुअली टेक द इनपुट्स एंड फीडबैक दैट वी गिव. अगर हम बोल रहे हैं कि ये प्रॉब्लम्स आपको प्रैक्टिस करने, और एक्चुअली अगर आप वो कर रहे हो, ट्रस्ट मी, विद इन दिस 8 weeks यू विल बिकम सच अ गुड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर. यू विल नो फॉर योर सेल्फ. मतलब आई वुड नॉट हैव टू से इट अगेन एंड अगेन. You will know it after 8 weeks what kind of a problem solver you were during the starting of the course, and how, what quality of problem solver I have become after the end of the course, and the confidence that you get out of it, and the confidence that you get while giving the interviews. There is a huge difference. Okay, there is a huge difference. And I have been mentoring and training students for 10,000 students almost, not just DSA, but even for DSA, I would say there would at least be 5,000-6,000 students, right? A lot of them have got placed as well, and they are now further teaching DSA to their college juniors and others. So there is a kind of history and track record that we bring in together. You already know about Priya ma'am, and you already know about me now. So you can trust us for this, and I would want maximum participation from all of you in this course. Yes, handing it back to Priya ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Uh, Thank you so much, Gladden, for sharing wonderful experience with the learners, ki how they should prepare for an interview, and how our course will not about completing our DSA syllabus. It's more
Correct.
focused towards how we can help them in order to crack the interviews. देखो
Correct.
आप लोग खुद से भी कर सकते हो. I myself have a playlist on YouTube available for free. Then I have a recorded courses available on Udemy. The only point is बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं कि we are coming from Udemy course and we are
Hmm.
coming from after watching your playlist. It's completely okay. The point is कि live courses में फर्क इतना सा होता है कि you will get a community.
Correct.
You will get a chance to interact with your mentor directly. वो चीज because I and Gladden is teaching from past 5 years almost. We have also observed कि when we talk about recorded courses, the drop ratio is quite huge
Quite
because
huge.
in between we lose the motivation. मतलब लाइव में ही ऐसा होता है तो आप इमेजिन कर सकते हो कि रिकॉर्डेड के अंदर तो आप किसी से बात नहीं कर रहे. आपके पास मेंटोर तो है समझाने के लिए, बट you cannot ask any question from him or her. So that
Correct.
is the major difference which you will find in this specific course. So now what I'll do, I will quickly share my screen and will let you know कि क्या चीजें हम यहाँ पे करने वाले हैं, and then maybe we can further proceed ahead. So let me share my screen and just give me a quick confirmation that whether my screen is properly visible or not. I hope it is visible to everyone. So this is the course. The link we have already, I have already shared in the chat window. Plus, you will find in the description of this video. This is the course. One more thing: many people enroll in the course once the course will be over. You will get the recordings for sure, but it would be great if you can join it live. I'm again saying recordings are fine. In fact, you will get the recordings of all these live discussions as well, in case if you have missed it because of some personal issues. But try to join all the sessions in a live mode. That is where you will get a feel of it. You will get a community. In fact, those people who have enrolled in the course, we already have a dedicated Telegram group where me with Gladden, you will find both of us in that specific group where we can interact with them. We'll find that what are the challenges they are facing. So over here, you can see the duration, everything is mentioned, right? What are the core topics we are covering up? You can find the entire syllabus over here. So the course is designed in such a way that 50% of the curriculum will be taught by me, and then 50% will be taught by Gladden, so that you will get an experience of both of us, right? And please try to go through it. A few people are asking about syllabus, this is covered or not. You can check it out, everything is written in the page itself. You can just spend your time on top of it. And if you are interested, just do one thing. You can just click on this enroll now button. In fact, I think we do have a feedback section. You can see the previous DSA students feedback and how they feel confident after completing the course of DSA. And over here you can click on this enroll now button, and then you can just click on the proceed part, you can enter your details, and after this you can just completely do the payment. So that's a very simple step, nothing big over here, and that's the overall thing that we have to do, right? So uh, if you have any questions now to ask from me or to Gladden, you can just let us know. I'll take the questions one by one, and then we will wrap up this specific discussion. Yes, any questions anyone is having? So one question: Did you did DSA in Python or any other language? So that's we have already discussed. It's in Python. You can see the details in the landing page itself. You will get a better context of it, right? Uh, Hello, Priya ma'am. I'm from data science batch. Uh, Great, Sandeep. Um, Gladden, do you want to take this question? Will we cover hard topics like segment tree, DSU, digit DP? No one is teaching these topics in Python.
Yes, correct. Good question, actually. So, we do have certain topics like DP and we have some advanced problems. Intentionally, we have not kept segment trees because traditionally it is not for everyone. That is what I feel. For a specific cohort of students, we would like to take segment trees. But I am very comfortable if we have large number of students suggesting कि सर हमें सेगमेंट ट्रीज पढ़ना है, हमें डीएसयू पढ़ना है, या तो आप एक सेशन में उनको एक्सप्लेन कर दो या फिर हमें उनके रिसोर्सेज प्रोवाइड कर दो कि हम वो चीज कहाँ से पढ़ सकते हैं. विल बी more than happy to help you, right? But for everyone in general who are learning DSA for the first time, I would not recommend them to learn segmentary in DSU. For advanced people who already know this, you already know that these topics are not for beginners, correct? So for certain learners, we'll share the resources required and whatever help is required for this aspect. So don't worry about that. Yeah.
Perfect. So I think we are good for now. Any other question anyone is having? This might be our last live Q&A for the cohort as well, with respect to DSA. If you have any other questions for me or for Gladden, you can always let us know in the comment section of this video. We will try to help you out in terms of whatever questions you have. You can also reach out to us. My email ID is already you can find in the banner also of this channel, also on my LinkedIn also, right? Um, I'm trying to solve some hard problems of DSA. I solve them in VS Code, but they are not accepted in LeetCode. Gladden, can you take this?
Yes, I can take this. So when you try to solve a problem on LeetCode, what happens is you are expected to solve a functional problem. That means on LeetCode you will say कि पूरा कोड नहीं होता है. अगर मैं beginners के लिए, if I'm answering this question for beginners, so there is something which we called as an input code or an output code. ठीक है, बहुत beginners के लिए बता रहा हूँ कि जहाँ पे input expect किया जाता है आपसे कि user ही input लेगा, and then there is a function that will get called, and the function जो भी आंसर वो रिटर्न करता है function, uh, there is an output script जो उसको आउटपुट करता है. Now what happens in the backend of LeetCode, they don't want you to write the entire code where you writing input A is equal to input, B is equal to input, and then you calculate the whole answer and then at the end print the output. They don't want you to do that, so they make your life easy. What they do, they'll give you a function, they'll define and give you a function, and we call this as a functional solution. Okay, so they expect you to write a functional solution. All you have to do is only complete the function. Whatever you're returning from the function, the output script will kind of print the answer for you in the expected format. But VS Code में ऐसा नहीं होता है. VS Code में you don't have a demo script, input script, output script, functional solution. ऐसा नहीं होता है, right? It's a very different kind of system on VS Code. You have the entire control. So in VS Code, that is why you have to write the code from scratch. Hope that answers the question.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Gladden. Uh, Great. Any last words you want to say, Gladden, to everyone before we wrap up for today?
I just want to say that in this particular fashion, just like how me and Priya are doing it in the co-instructor fashion, and especially for the community of Priya, in this fashion, we are doing it for the first time. So I'm really really excited, and we all know that Priya ma'am has a great reputation in the industry, and she's known for bringing excellence to students, excellence and outcomes to students. So I am really really excited doing this along with her, and mentoring a lot of new students that jointly come together. There may be some students who know me, very few students who know me and don't know Priya ma'am. I would definitely ask you, go and explore her LinkedIn page, YouTube page. There is so much to learn from her community. She has a vast experience in this industry as well, and because we are doing this collaboratively, uh, really really excited, and there's a lot of value that you will get out of this course for sure.
Thank you so much. And definitely, I am also equally excited. It's for the very first time we both come together. Usually, previous courses, I alone does that. But
Yeah.
for the very first time, we thought that we were friends from past 4 5 years, and his teaching skills are also very amazing. So that's where we thought that why not to bring a course where we both will teach to the learners. So we both are very excited to share our experiences to you all, and I really hope you guys are also excited to learn from us. So we will see you definitely in the course. Our very first class will be on 31st of Jan in the morning from 9 to 11, and we start at sharp 9. So please don't be late, right? And definitely we will see you all in a live discussion now after this.
Yes.
Last question before we wrap up. From which platform are we going to practice the questions? Any internal or lead code or any other platform? Like Gladden, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So again we are going back to the same question जो प्रिया मैम ने स्टार्टिंग में बोला था कि डीएसए चालू करने से पहले पीपल आर मोर इंटरेस्टेड कि लैंग्वेज कौन सा चूज करना है. दिस इज मोर लाइक
Yes.
दैट कि क्वेश्चन जीएफजी पे होंगे कि लीड कोड पे होंगे कि कोड फोर्सेस पे होंगे कि वीएस कोड में होंगे. डज नॉट मैटर, डोंट वरी, विल टेक केयर ऑफ इट. जैसे आप कोर्स में आओगे तो वी विल लेट यू नो दैट. ठीक है, दीज आर ऑल पब्लिक ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स दैट आर अवेलेबल इन ऑल बेनिफिट you in the long term. Lead code is more widely known for problem solving and interview preparation, but all platforms are equally good. And even after the course, you want to explore other platforms for problem solving, you can do that as well. तो platform का इतना टेंशन मत लो आप, language का इतना टेंशन मत लो. Focus on problem solving skills कैसे improve हो सकती है. For that, you join the course. How do I improve my problem solving skills and then apply it to crack the product based companies? That is the core of what we are trying to do out of this course. Hope that answers.
Perfect. I hope it answers your question. Now, if you have any other question, we already try to take all of them. You can leave in the comment section and definitely we will revert back to you. With that, bye bye everyone. See you all
Bye,
in the
guys.
course.
Thank you. See you in the course. Yeah. Bye.